Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. On this session, we are group 5. We'll present the result of our assignment about using adjective and adverb correctly. I'm Ahmad Nizar Roghib with my friend Dwinda Putri Lailatul Qodria and Siti Dania Wardatus Shofia. Okay, first of all, adjective will present Siti Dania and Dwinda Putri.
Definition of adjective. An adjective is a word that refers to a characteristic of noun. We can identify an adjective if we can put a word between the and noun, like boy or idea. Then that word is an adjective. Adjectives always tell us something about noun. Adjectives are words like short, old, cheap, happy, nice, and electric. Most adjectives express quality. They tell us what something is like. An adjective always has the same form, except for comparison like shorter and shortest. Adjectives usually provide relevant information about the nouns or pronouns. They modify or describe by answering the questions, like what kind, how many, which one, and how much. Adjectives enrich writing by adding precision and originality to it. Adjectives have two functions. The first is describe noun or pronoun, and then the second is limit a noun. The first function is describe noun or pronoun. An adjective modifies a noun. The adjectives here express physical and other qualities like large, quiet, and friendly, and the writer's opinion or attitude like excellent and beautiful. For example, she brushed her long brown. The second function is limit a noun. An adjective limits a noun. The adjective will be specific after we give determiner. It expresses other meanings such as origin, like an American writer, and the place, like an inland waterway, and frequency, like a weekly newspaper, and then degree, like a complete failure, and the necessity, like an essential safeguard, and degrees of certainty, like the probable result. For example, a green sport, that wooden door, and then that big black bag. Adjective has several categories. There are common adjectives, proper adjectives, and then possessive adjectives, demonstrative adjectives, indefinite adjectives, numerical adjectives, article and interrogative adjectives. The first is common adjective. A common adjective is a grammatical part of speech that describes a noun, like a person, place, thing, or idea. Adjectives typically answer the question like which one, what kind, how many, and how much. For example, the funny teacher kept the class engaged. The word funny is an adjective that describing the noun teacher. And then the second is proper adjective. Proper adjectives also describe people, places, and things, but they are based on names and therefore need to be capitalized, like the names. The first, those that come from names of place, like countries, continents, regions, cities. The example word from name of place are Indonesian, Western, American, African, Italian, Arabian, Korean, and Japanese. And then the second is those that come from names of people, usually famous people, mostly historical, some modern. The example word from names of people are Charles Darwin become Darwinian, and then Gautama Buddha become Buddhist, and then Queen Elizabeth become Elizabethan, and then William Shakespeare become Shakespearean. And then the third is possessive adjective. Possessive adjectives are used to show possession or ownership of something, while we use them when we refer to people. This more in the sense of relationship than ownership. Some of the most basic possessive adjectives that are commonly used in the English language are my, your, our, its, her, his, their, and whose. For example, his name is Kevin. Her name is Michaela. Our cat is always licking it. And then we sold our John buggy yesterday.
Alright, I will continue the presentation about demonstrative adjective. Well, a demonstrative can come after all, both, or half, or after a quantifier. For example, both those cameras are broken. And I've read most of this book. After a demonstrative, we can use one or ones instead of a singular or a plural noun. For example, what about this one? And what about these ones? If there is an adjective, we cannot normally leave out ones. Example, those big ones. You have to know that for American usage, this or these can mean now or near in time, and that or those can mean then or farther away in time. For example, my mother is staying with us this week. And in informal English, we can use that or those with something known but not present in the situation. For example, those people next door are away on holiday. After that, let's move to indefinite adjective. An indefinite adjective is an adjective used to describe a noun in a non-specific sense. The most common indefinite adjectives are any, each, few, many, much, most, several, and some. For indefinite adjectives are classified as a quantifier or a type of a determiner in contemporary grammar. For example, I like most people at the party. The next one is numerical adjective. Well, the numerical adjective are those adjectives which are used to denote the number of nouns or the order in which they stand. They are also commonly called adjective of number, and there are two types of number used as adjective, namely cardinal and ordinal numbers. For cardinal number are numbers that used to describe number in whole number, and the ordinal numbers are numbers used to describe the position. For example, the cardinal numbers is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the ordinal number, for example, is first, second, third, fifth. In a sentence, the example is there were 7 patients in doctor waiting room and Max was the first. The next is article. An article is an adjective. Like adjective, articles modify nouns. English has 2 articles, the and a or an. This is used to refer to specific or particular nouns. We call the is definite article and a or an is indefinite article. For example, if I say, let's read the book, I mean a specific book. If I say, let's read a book, I mean any book rather than a specific book. And a or an is used to refer to non-specific, right? For example, I would like to go see a movie. And here we're not talking about a specific movie. We're talking about any movie. There are many movies and I want to see any movie. I don't have a specific of in mind. The next is interrogative adjective. An interrogative is one that asks a direct question and always ends in a question mark. The term interrogative sentence is another name for a question, and there are three main types of question are as follows. The first one is yes/no question. For example, is it raining? An answer to yes/no question will be yes or no. The second one is question word. For example, why are you bored? The answer to question word will be information. For example, the answer is I've seen this film before. And the third is choice question. For example, do you want salsa dip or cheese dip? And the answer to choice question will be in a question. For example, for the answer is salsa dip.
Okay, second material is adverb, will present by me. Definition of adverb. An adverb is a word that describes a verb. It tells you about an action or the way something is done. A lot of adverbs end in "ly". Adverb generally indicates information about location, time, degree, and manner. They provide extra information about the action in the sentence. About adjective and about other adverbs. Some adverbs can modify not only verb and adjectives, but other adverbs as well. The function of this small group of adverbs is to impart a quality or degree to the meaning of the adverb. Adverb is divided into two types. First, interrogative adverb, and second, conjunctive adverb. First, interrogative adverb, a question word that asks a question whose answer will be an adverb. It consists of four words of question. First, why. Why means for what's the reason. For example, why are you late today? Why does David always ask just boring question? Second, where. Where means at what place. For example, where does Diva live? Where do we have to go tonight? Third, when. When means at the time. For example, when must we leave home? When should they advise us of the problem? 5. How. How means in what way of manner, degree, time, amount, and quantity. For example, how did you know what he was talking about? How many people are coming to the party? Second, conjunctive adverb. Conjunctive adverbs are also considered conjunction because they can be used to connect independent clauses. They also act as adverb because they modify one of the independent clause. For example of a conjunctive adverb, consequently. For example, the car engine broke down. Consequently, we did not finish the race. Second example, later. I spent the day at the public library. Later, I went for a walk to relax. 3. Therefore. The thief lost his apples. Therefore, he was forced to go to prison. Adverb function. Adverb functions are divided into 5 types, namely 1. Adverb of time, 2. Adverb of place, 3. Adverb of manner, 4. Adverb of frequency, and 5. Adverb of degree. Okay, first, adverb of time. Some adverbs describe when something happened. They are called adverb of time. Adverb of time are words like 2 days ago. For example, I met her 2 days ago. Second, last week. For example, I received a package from Clara last week. 3. Since. For example, the factory has operated since 1983. 4. Today. For example, my brother is leaving for Surabaya today. 5. Soon. For example, finish your job soon. Second, adverb of place. Some adverbs tell you where something happened. They are called adverb of place. Adverb of place are words like there, on, behind, down, here, and other. There, for example, she put the red scarf on the table. On, for example, they went for me on there. Behind, for example, Dania took the book and hid it behind. Down, for example, when she entered the classroom, she sat down. Here, for example, please bring the book here. 3. Adverb of manner. Some adverbs describe the way something is done. They are called adverb of manner. Adverb of manner are words like suddenly, safely, quickly, calmly, easily, and other. Suddenly, for example, the driver braked suddenly. Safely, for example, the parcel arrived safely. Quickly, for example, Bobby ran quickly and won the race. Calmly, for example, the student have a walk calmly in the school. Easily, for example, he can answer the hard question easily. 4. Adverb of frequency. Adverb of frequency generally answer the question how often. The most common are always, almost always, generally, usually, normally, frequently, often, sometimes, hardly, ever, seldom, not, never, and each other. For example, adverb of frequency. Normally. Example, I normally go to the school. Often, for example, they often go out for dinner. Always, for example, I am always late. 4. Sometime. I sometimes have fried rice for breakfast. Constantly. For example, he drink water constantly. Okay, the last type of adverb. Adverb of degree. Adverb of degree are general adverb of degrees. They can make the word they modify weaker or stronger, and the effect depend on the stress and intonation. Adverb of degree are words like, for example, rather, almost, finished, living, slowly, and each other. Rather, for example, I am rather busy. Almost, for example, she is almost 30. Finished. For example, they were almost finished. Living. For example, he was just living. Slowly. For example, you are walking too slowly.
Adjective and adverb have similar form of word. For example, like early, far, fast, hard, little, monthly, outside, and strike. For example, the adjective form. Her early baby was born before 34 weeks. In here, the adjective word of early explains about the noun that is baby. And then for the adverb form, her first baby didn't come early and neither did mine. Here, the adverb word of early in this adverb form explains about the verb that is to come.
Okay, this is exercise about the material today. This exercise will be answered in the 6 meetings. And this is the reference about the material today. Thank you for watching this video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.